Danseong Okanja, welcome. We're diving straight into the stories defining the landscape, right from the front page of the Seoul Economic Daily, giving you the core insights you need. And today it's quite a mix. On one hand, you have this incredible economic marker KOSPI hitting 4,000, just wow. But then set against that, you've got some really intense geopolitical discussions and corporate plays happening around the APEC meetings. Our aim here is to connect those dots for you, the numbers and the narrative, so you get the full picture, why it all matters.
Exactly. Let's maybe start with that huge market news. KOSPI, it's genuinely historic. On the 27th, it closed about 4,000. First time, the actual number was 4042.83.
And what really jumps out, I think, is just how fast it happened. It was only, what, 4 months?
This is 4 months to climb that last 100 points after hitting 3,000 back in June. It's quite something.
So how does that stack up globally? Is this just Korea catching up or something more?
Oh, it's more. Much more. Korea's really setting the global pace right now. The rise this year, cumulatively, is 66%.
66%.
Yeah. Think about that. We're outpacing everyone major. More than double Japan's Nikkei, that's at 21%, and triple the S&P 500's gain of 13%. The total market cap is now, well, 3,325 trillion won. Uncharted territory. This isn't just a rally. It feels like a fundamental re-rating.
Okay, so for you, our listeners, wanting the why behind this, it's easy to say chips, right? Semiconductor recovery. But 66%, that feels like more than just a cyclical bounce back. What are the real engines here?
It's a mix, definitely centered on AI, but also a shift in thinking about the so-called Korea discount. First, yeah, AI and semiconductors are huge. Samsung Electronics hitting 10,001, that was psychologically massive.
Right, crossing into that 600 trillion won market cap era. That number, Tenjun Townsend, it's symbolic.
It really is. It signals a new level of confidence in, the country's flagship company. And SK Hynix is also doing incredibly well, holding that 5-3 chick title. It underscores the strength in AI memory.
That symbolism is important. But let's talk about that Korea discount. We've heard about it forever, undervaluation because of governance, dividends, geopolitical risk. What's actually changing now? Why are investors suddenly believing it's being overcome, as they say?
I think the key is that management seems to be genuinely prioritizing shareholder value now. Maybe pushed by government policy, maybe just seeing the light. But global investors are seeing tangible steps. Better dividends, simpler corporate structures being discussed or implemented. And that expectation that things are really changing has pulled in a lot of money. Foreign investors bought 6.2 trillion won worth this month alone.
Wow.
Yeah, and institutions added another 2.3 trillion. They're betting those old inefficiencies keeping prices down are finally being fixed.
The confidence seems sky high. I saw the Korea Exchange Director, Young Eunbo, basically called 4,000 just the new starting line. He's talking 5,000.
You did. It's a very bullish call.
It is audacious. But what are the risks? I mean, are there indicators that maybe contradict that rosy picture?
That's the crucial question, isn't it? The biggest risk is probably over-reliance on that chip cycle and, well, global tech swings. Sure, 5,000 is possible if AI demand just keeps exploding, but a 66% rise means the market has a really high beta now.
Meaning highly sensitive to global shocks.
Exactly. Very exposed if there's a global downturn or any hiccup in the AI supply chain. You could argue we've priced in a lot of future growth already. Future gains might need everything to go perfectly.
That's a really important point. Okay, let's pivot from the markets to the global stage, APEC. President Lee seems to be walking a very tricky diplomatic line. That Bloomberg interview highlighted some real tensions, especially over that big U.S. investment fund.
Yes, the $350 billion one. That deadlock seems quite serious. The president was very frank about it. He basically said everything is still a sticking point. Investment methods, the scale, the timeline, even how potential losses or profits get shared.
So it's not just minor details. It's fundamental disagreement on risk.
It sounds like it. The U.S. wants certain terms, timelines. Korea is pushing back, likely wanting more flexibility, better risk sharing. It seems like a fundamental clash over national interests versus maybe alliance pressure.
He mentioned trying to avoid catastrophic consequences by delaying. What do you think he meant by that specifically?
Well, implicitly, it's probably about domestic economic health. Agreeing to terms that force huge capital commitments on unfavorable timelines or taking on too much risk. That could really destabilize Korean companies, maybe hurt shareholder value, the very thing driving the KOSPI rally. So delaying is about getting terms that work for Korea first.
Which brings us straight to that powerful analogy he used for Korea's position between the U.S. and China.
Right, being caught between two millstones. It's a vivid image.
It really is.
It captures that intense pressure, economic ties to China, security alliance with the U.S. His stated goal, especially with the China-Korea summit coming up, isn't just to survive, but to navigate it, to find opportunity in the challenge.
Another big policy point he discussed was defense spending, jumping from 2.3% of GDP to 3.5%. That's a massive increase. We need to be clear for you listening. What are the real implications? And was it truly independent of U.S. pressure, as stated?
The president was very clear on that point. He said it's about Korea's own need for self-defense, not because the U.S. asked. The implications are huge, though. Shifting that much of the national budget to defense changes everything. It boosts domestic defense firms, like Hanwha, obviously, but diplomatically, it sends a very strong signal about self-reliance and strategic seriousness to everyone in the region, allies, and potential adversaries alike. It gives Korea more weight.
And speaking of regional dynamics, there's that other factor looming over APEC, the Trump factor, his potential meeting with Kim Jong-un.
Ah, yes, the ultimate wild card, you could say. Trump said on his way to Tokyo that he's willing to meet Kim. And crucially, he hinted he might extend his stay in Korea, which is his last stop, if a meeting actually materializes.
So the whole focus of APEC could shift dramatically, almost instantly.
Absolutely. From trade and investment to high-stakes nuclear diplomacy, it adds another layer of unpredictability.
Okay, let's shift from the government level down to the corporate visions shared at APEC, particularly at that CEO Summit Future Tech Forum.
Right. HD Hyundai's CEO, Chung Kai-sun, was really pushing the idea of global shipbuilding alliances. He specifically mentioned expanding their mascot project, Make American Shipbuilding Great Again, but taking it worldwide.
That sounds like more than just talk. Is it about supply chains?
Definitely. Securing partnerships in key places like the U.S. is vital now. He sounded extremely confident, calling HD Hyundai the best prepared partner. It strongly suggests more investment announcements are coming, tied to these alliances.
Interesting. And Hanwha, also in a hard tech sector defense, seemed to strike a different tone, more about peace.
Yes, that was noticeable. Hanwha emphasized that their defense tech work is aimed at sustainable peace and protection. They framed their global partnerships around cooperation, not provocation, which actually aligns well with a government boosting defense spending. It suggests a strategy focused on stability and reliable partnerships.
Okay, so we have hard tech alliances, but then there's the soft power angle, which was fascinating. TikTok's head of policy for the Americas, Eric Ebenstein, had some strong words about Korea.
He did. He called Korea a source of inspiration. High praise indeed.
Why, though? What specifically did he point to?
He mentioned a combination. High technical skill, a really creative culture, and this is key, a strong commitment to safety and governance online. Apparently, TikTok sees Korea as a leader here and wants to learn from its approach to internal governance. They even mentioned spending $3 trillion annually on user safety.
$3 trillion on safety, that's a staggering number. Does that kind of investment actually create a competitive edge beyond just keeping users safe?
I think it does, yes. Because in the digital world, trust is everything. If Korea has strong tech and a reputation for a safe, well-governed environment, it makes it the perfect place to launch global digital trends. It helps explain why things like K-pop demon hunters or Korean beauty products take off so quickly on platforms like TikTok Shop in the US.
So the safety and governance actually helps K-culture spread more effectively.
Exactly. The whole ecosystem is seen as reliable. So Korea isn't just exporting cool content, it's potentially setting global standards for how digital platforms should operate responsibly.
Wow. What a fascinating convergence we've covered. You've got these record market highs showing incredible confidence, butting up against intense diplomatic pressures in this complex U.S.-China dynamic, plus this rising wave of soft power. The tension seems clear. Can this amazing market momentum, KOSPI 4,000 and beyond, fueled by confidence in Korean companies, withstand the pressure of those geopolitical millstones? That's maybe the key question for you to ponder. Will the market's strength eventually get worn down by the diplomatic challenges, or can Korea navigate this complex path successfully? Shektori 4,000 jur figo figigo figigo ja ikobi wuhalians wayan koki ubuli Michael. Yeah, du show?